Hello, Clay County. John Ward, Director of Emergency Management here in the county. And today we want to talk a little bit about family disaster planning and family disaster kits. Yes, unfortunately, we're coming up on hurricane season, but this is really something that we need to be prepared for all year long. You really need to understand the hazards that impact your area. Do you live by the waterway? Are you susceptible to flooding? Do you live in a rural area, maybe susceptible to wildfire where you may have to evacuate? So it's really key to have a lot of this stuff and the family plan in place all year round. So first thing I want to bring up is I really want to talk about insurance. We definitely want you to always check into your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance policies just to make sure they're up to date, because if we do get a storm, most of your companies will not issue a policy within 30 days of a named storm. So now's the time to really go back and check that plan. A lot of this information that we're talking about, you can go to alert.claycountygov.com. We've got a handy little preparedness guide that you can take a look at and give you a lot of this information, or you can just look at it online if you'd like. So with the family plan, as we discussed, you want to know what areas you're susceptible to as far as what hazards. Do you have a family meeting point? If something happens like a house fire or something like that, do you have that meeting point, or do you have a way to contact your friends and family to let them know you're okay? You know, teach your children when to call 911 and when not to call 911 in any of those type of instances. So just really now's the time to get that plan in place. When it comes to evacuations, we don't have to go hundreds of miles, it's really tens of miles. Do we have a family member or a friend that we can move just a couple miles inland or away from the impact that's going to give us so we can go be comfortable? We will always open up shelters, but those shelters are a shelter of last resort. So it's really going to be better off that you make plans now to not have to go to those shelters. So let's talk about our disaster kit that we've got. So everybody should have a preparedness disaster kit. We've unpacked mine. As you can see, I over-prepare a little bit, but this is really good for us. So some of the things we really want to think of, obviously you always want to have toiletries, soaps, wipes, hand sanitizer, and then of course toilet paper. You know, you want your food, you want 5 days. We push 5 days of this because whether you're out of electricity or anything along those lines, you want to be prepared. So have some non-perishable foods, have some of your utensils and stuff to utilize. You know, definitely water, 1 gallon per day per person in your family, so have that in place. You know, you always want to have your clothes, towels, blankets, some of these handy dandy new technical devices, you know, a battery operated or a solar powered charger to charge your phone. Medications. This is another thing that we get a lot about. And one thing I want to make clear, that as soon as the state goes under a local state of emergency, your pharmacy will be able to issue you 30 days worth of medications just in case there's any impacts to that respective pharmacy. So always keep your medications up to date. Also, flashlights, batteries, you know, we got to have those just in case we're out of electricity. You want to have this in place. Have cash. We've seen a lot of times where our banking systems have been down or there's no power, so the ATMs aren't. So always have cash in place with you. Another thing we want to see is any important documents. Make sure and have any of your important documents, insurance documents, birth certificates, anything along those lines, and always have them in a water-sealed pack so they'll survive whatever event, rain, or anything like that that you're dealing with. So as always, you can go to alert.claycountygov.com and get this further information. Thank you, Clay County.